There are golf holes you dream about playing, and then there are golf holes you may never touch unless you know a billionaire, win a lottery, or drop more money than your car is worth. Today, we're diving into the most iconic holes on the planet. The ones you've seen on wallpapers, highlight reels, and bucket list forums. And we're breaking down what it really costs to step on them. And fair warning, some of these price tags are going to sting. Before we jump in, make sure you subscribe to Fairway Fortunes, the channel where we break down the luxury, wealth, and secrets behind the world of golf. The seventh at Pebble Beach is one of the biggest traps in golf. Not because it's hard, but because you'll pay a small fortune for the privilege of watching your wedge get eaten alive by ocean wind you didn't see coming. This tiny 106-yard par 3 sits on a rocky ledge over the Pacific, and it's easily one of the most photographed holes on Earth. But here's the part they don't put on the postcard. The price tag isn't just high, it's gotten controversial. Pebble uses dynamic pricing, which is basically a polite way of saying they charge as much as they think they can get away with. Rounds regularly hit $625 to $675, but that's not even the real cost. If you want to guarantee your tee time, you must stay at the resort. And those rooms can run over $1,000 a night. Most golfers end up dropping between $1,850 and $2,400 just for one round. That's not an exaggeration. That's the norm. And yet, people keep coming back. Why? Because Pebble number 7 has this weird magnetism. You might flush the perfect wedge, or you might scull one straight into the Pacific. You might hit the green, or the wind might suddenly change direction mid-flight like it's trolling you. Even tour pros have called it unpredictable. Some call it magic. Others call it overpriced oceanfront pain. But whether you love it or hate it, one thing is certain. Pebble number 7 is the perfect place to drain your wallet before you even reach the turn. And if you think that's expensive, wait until you see the next hole on this list because you can't play it, no matter how much money you have. Golden Bell, the world's most dangerous 155 yards. The hole that has destroyed more Masters dreams than any other. You already know the look. Perfectly framed azaleas, still water in front, the Hogan Bridge behind. But what you may not know is that Augusta number 12 might be the single hardest hole on the planet to get access to. You can't book it. You can't apply for it. You can't buy a round. The only way you're playing Augusta National is you're invited by a member. You're a journalist during Masters Media Week. You win an extremely rare local lottery, or you somehow marry into the right family. There is no price listed because the price doesn't matter. Access is everything. Augusta's membership list is famously mysterious, and every year rumors swirl about billionaires being quietly rejected, CEOs waiting years for consideration, and high-profile people who apparently never got a call back. And then there's the controversy. Augusta has faced multiple lawsuits from former employees over the years, plus public criticism about transparency, membership diversity, and secrecy. None of that has slowed down the hype. If anything, it makes number 12 even more mythical. Pros say the wind on this hole lies to you. It swirls between the trees, bouncing off Rays Creek, changing direction inches above the surface. You'll hear stories of caddies telling players, trust the flag, not the leaves. And they still get it wrong. If you ever get invited, the estimated value of a guest round is between $500 and $1,000. But that number is meaningless. It could cost $10 or $10 million worth of social status. Augusta doesn't care. And if you think that's secretive, the next hole makes Augusta look like a public municipal course. There's no hole in golf more deceptively insane than the road hole at St. Andrews. On paper, it's a par 4. In real life, it's a street fight with a flagstick. You start by hitting your tee shot over a hotel. Yes, literally over the Old Course Hotel. This wasn't some bold design choice. It happened because the road was realigned decades ago, so golfers had to adapt or hit a lawsuit waiting to happen. The hotel's guests have windows facing the fairway, and there are endless stories, some true, some not, about golf balls shattering glass or landing on balconies. Then you have the road hole bunker. If Pebble number 7 drains your wallet, this bunker drains your soul. It's so deep that pros sometimes take 2, 3, even 4 shots to escape. Some players have said that once you're in, par is no longer an option. Survival is. The good news? Anyone can play it. The bad news? It's not that simple. To get a tee time at St. Andrews, you enter a lottery. If you don't win, you can buy a spot through a tour package, Or you can show up at 5 a.m. with your fingers crossed for a walk-up slot. During peak season, a round costs roughly $270 to £320, $340 to $400. Winter prices drop, but good luck getting the same road hole experience when the skies look like they're plotting against you. St. Andrews is public, but it's also overwhelmed. Locals complain about tourist flooding. Golfers complain about the booking nightmare. But everyone agrees, the road hole isn't just iconic. It's chaos disguised as tradition. And as wild as it is, the next hole on this list is even more exclusive and far more dangerous. Cypress Point is the golf course equivalent of a private island for billionaires. Membership isn't advertised. Fees aren't listed. The application process doesn't exist because the club simply chooses you. And if they don't, you'll never play here. Hole 16 is a 231-yard par 3 straight over the Pacific Ocean. Not around it, not beside it, directly over it. Golfers stand on the tee with waves smashing the cliffs, wind howling in from the left, and seals barking from the rocks below as if they're judging your swing. A perfect strike feels like magic. A mishit turns into an immediate donation to the Pacific. The club rarely acknowledges controversies, but the biggest one came in the early 90s when it was removed from the PGA Tour rotation due to membership policies that didn't meet tour standards. That's how exclusive this place is. They shrugged and let the PGA walk away. There's also the environmental angle. Critics have questioned whether courses like this, perched on fragile Pacific coastline, accelerate erosion. It hasn't affected demand. If anything, the impossibility of access is part of the mystique. If Pebble Beach is luxury for the masses, Cypress Point is luxury for the chosen few. And that makes number 16 one of the most coveted shots in the world. But while Cypress Point is all about elegance and exclusivity, our next stop is pure social media insanity. You've probably seen this hole without realizing it. A tee box perched above a massive red canyon. A ball that drops so far it looks like it's falling into another dimension. Welcome to Red Mountain's 17th, the hole that exploded on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube because it looks like CGI. Red Mountain is surrounded by dramatic cliffs carved into an old tin mine. The visuals are unreal. The fairway sits down in a deep pit, and when golfers hit their tee shot, the ball hangs in the air forever before dropping like it's been caught in a vacuum. Tourism blew up fast, maybe too fast. Locals have talked about rising prices, increased traffic, and growing tension between residents and golf development. But it hasn't slowed demand. Green fees range from $150 to $200, but Thailand has a mandatory caddy system, plus a required cart, plus tipping. Most golfers end up paying $250 to $300 for the experience. Is it worth it? If you want a hole that looks like it was designed by a video game developer during a caffeine overdose, absolutely. But the next hole on this list isn't viral because of social media. It's legendary because it genuinely terrifies people. Imagine a hole so dramatic that even confident golfers suddenly question every part of their setup routine. That's Cape Kidnapper's 15th in New Zealand, a cliff-edge par 5 perched on a razor-thin fairway called the Pirate's Plank. On your left, a bottomless ravine. On your right, another ravine. Ahead, a fairway that looks like it was accidentally placed by a cartographer with shaky hands. The drop from the cliffs to the ocean is more than 450 feet, and if your ball goes over the edge, you'll never see it again. Videos of golfers intentionally smashing balls into the abyss rack up millions of views. Cape Kidnappers doubles as a wildlife sanctuary, which adds to the beauty and also the controversy. The resort has strict conservation rules, and environmental groups have raised concerns about ongoing development in sensitive areas. The cost? Green fees hover around $450 to $550 US. The resort's luxury suites, over $1,200 a night. It's expensive, it's intimidating, and it's breathtaking. But if you want something both iconic and playable, our next hole is the world's most famous do-or-die shot. No hole has destroyed more amateur confidence than the Island Green at TPC Sawgrass. It's only 137 yards, a soft pitching wedge for most players. But that doesn't matter. The moment golfers step onto that tee, something shifts. Hands shake, heart rate spikes. Suddenly, 137 yards feels like 400. The Island Green wasn't even part of the original design. It happened after so much sand was dug out of the area that Pete Dye thought, well, we might as well put a green here. The result became one of the most iconic holes in history. During the Players' Championship, they track the number of balls that find the water. Sometimes it's 40, sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's more. And every year, there's at least one moment where a pro hits one in the lake, then immediately reloads and hits another one in frustration. And the crowd loses their mind. The good news? You can play it. The shocking news? It's pricey. Rounds at TPC Sawgrass often cost $650 plus mandatory four-caddy fees, plus gratuity. By the time the round is over, you're looking at almost $800 depending on the season. But here's the thing. Everyone wants to do it anyway. People line up, cameras ready, hoping to hit the green and post the proof online. And if you don't, congratulations. You've joined the unofficial Sawgrass Baptism Club. Yet even Sawgrass isn't the hardest place to access, not even close. Hidden deep in Texas pine country is a course most golfers have never seen, let alone played. Whispering Pines is consistently ranked among the top private courses in the U.S., and its fourth hole, a perfectly framed par 3 over water, has built a reputation as Texas golf perfection. There's just one problem. You'll never get in. Membership is invitation only, not apply and hope for the best. Invitation only. If they don't want you, that's the end of the story. Rumored initiation fee? Around $100,000 plus. Rumored annual dues? Over $15,000. Guest access? A handful of days a year, and only if you know someone with the golden key. The fourth hole plays like a postcard. Serene water, tall pines, and a green that demands precision. But the exclusivity is what elevates it into legend. Whispering Pines has been called the Augusta of Texas. And once you see the layout, it's easy to understand why. But all of these iconic holes, the expensive ones, the terrifying ones, the secret ones, share something in common. And that's where this story comes full circle. You've probably noticed a pattern. The world's most legendary holes aren't just about the design. They're about access. They're about mythology. They're about money. And they're about the feeling of standing somewhere that millions of golfers will only dream about. Some holes are expensive because of where they are. Some are expensive because of who owns them. Some are expensive because the demand outweighs reality. And some are expensive because the experience is unforgettable. Pebble drains your wallet, but gives you memories. Augusta hides behind secrecy and tradition. St. Andrews tests your patience and your ability to wake up at 4 a.m. Cypress Point tests your social network. Red Mountain tests your nerves. Cape Kidnappers tests your spine. Sawgrass tests your confidence. Whispering Pines tests your connections. But every one of these holes represents something bigger than golf. They represent the chase, the dream, the challenge. The idea that maybe, just maybe, you'll get to take the swing of a lifetime on ground most people never touch. And now comes the question every golfer eventually asks. If you could only play one of these iconic holes, which one are you choosing? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious which hole wins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into golf's most legendary locations, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Fairway Fortunes breakdown. See you in the next one.